Hello knockouts, TonyaTko here. I'm not really going to be able to look at the camera because I'm driving right now, but I felt it on my heart to make this video. Well, it came up on my heart yesterday and I kind of worked through some of it internally, but while I was working through it, I wanted to talk with some of you about this. I wanted to talk about your inner circle and the things that we do, the self-defeating things that we do that keep us back based on the people who are around us. And so I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and since I have some time in traffic, because in Los Angeles, you spend most of your time in traffic getting from place to place. It's so different out here. Like every place in Los Angeles is like 30. Can you see me? Can you see me? Oops, I'm veering into the, listen, I need to forget, can you see me? Let me keep my eyes on the road. Okay. All right. Every place out here is like 20, 30 minutes away, no matter where you want to go. So nonetheless, so we have a little bit of time right now. So let's talk. Excuse me. The other day I was in a grocery store and this older woman, she was stopped in the aisle. She was so cute and she was like looking, she looked like she didn't, and you know, I go to the grocery store about 3 or 4 times a week because I like for my fruits and vegetables to be fresh. Actually, I need to be going to some farmers markets because who knows how fresh the vegetables are in the supermarket, but I like to make the practice of going to the supermarket often. I don't do bulk shopping. I shop according to what my body, like if I feel like I'm in the need for some cheese, I go and I get cheese. I don't shop a month in advance or weeks in it. I don't do that because I shop according to what it is that I may want, and I like to keep things refreshing and recirculating through the fridge. That's me. And I suggest you do the same thing, especially I suggest that you up your fruits, vegetables, and greens, and those things need to be bought quite often. But nonetheless, the reason why I bring that up is because even though I'm new to LA, I go to the grocery store often. So this little old lady, she looked so cute and she looked like she looked lost. And so I was like, are you able to find, I was like, you need help finding anything? Right? And she was like, well, yes, you know, and she said that she needed some help, right? And I asked her what it was that she was looking for, and she looked a little embarrassed. And she was like, she wanted to know where the diapers were. And she was like, you know, you wear diapers when you're a baby, and then you wear diapers when you're older. And, you know, because she looked so embarrassed, I was like laughing with her. And I was like, I'm halfway there myself. Right? Talking about halfway on my way to wearing diapers. And then I was like, but it didn't feel right to me on the inside. I felt slighted and I felt depreciated in my sentiment. And I felt it right away, and I wanted to tell her that, you know, there are exercises that you can do to strengthen up your urethra, and also the position that you sit when you go to use the ladies' room. They have these things that you can prop your feet up on that keeps your pelvic floor strong, and it helps you be in the natural position that you should be in when you're going to use the bathroom. I wanted to tell her all of this, but you know, she had already turned the corner, and I was like, I was stuck in my feelings for a moment because I didn't like the fact that I had said that about myself. Okay, so this is what the crux of this video is about, because I remember I made that video last year or earlier this year. I don't remember when I made it, but I made the video talking about fake friends, right? And how we have people in our inner circles who are not really our friends, and how I had this one particular friend who liked to see me doing poorly. And when I said that sentence to the woman, I realized that this is something that I do. This is something that I do, and I wonder if there's anybody else out there who does that as well. Because, you know, I'm an empath. I'm empathetic. I can feel people's feelings, etc. So I had a friend who was going through some hard times financially. She was having some hard times financially, and in an effort to identify with her, I started talking about how things are hard for me too financially. And what ended up happening is that I actually attracted some hard times. Not only did I attract them, but see, it's an energetic, vibrational kind of thing. because I started making these comments to kind of soothe her so that she doesn't feel so bad about her situation. I started making comments about how things are hard for me financially, blah, blah, blah. And then as a result, inadvertently, subconsciously, psychologically, I don't know, vibrationally, whatever, I started to have hard times financially too. And it got to the point where I was like, I realized, looking back in hindsight, there were decisions that I made with my money because you know what, I had a business last year, and cash flow is everything in a business. You can be inventory rich, but cash flow poor. This is how a lot of people go out of business, because you go and you buy a whole bunch of stuff and you have it on your shelves. So you got tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff on your shelf, but it takes you a certain amount of time to move that product. So I made some decisions that actually ended up putting me in a bad spot. And when I got into this bad spot, she seemed overjoyed, but not so much, but it was like a temporary overjoyment. It was like she seemed really happy to see me in this bad spot, but it was temporary because it evaporated, because after a while, then she wanted me to prove my solidarity to her by engaging in some of the activity that she was engaging in order to make her ends meet. And that's when I realized because you know what, listen, I wasn't made for that. Tonya was not made to struggle. I have no qualms about talking about the fact that, listen, I told you I go to the grocery store 3 or 4 times a week. I love being able to get my organic groceries, buy all the water that I need, get all the fresh fruits and vegetables that I need. And I like to be able to eat well. I like to be able to go to the store and not feel angst when I get to the counter to pay for the things that I need to pay for. I like living comfortably, and I like taking care of myself and not denying myself the things that I like to do. I don't want to, I wasn't made for that type of struggle. It doesn't resonate with me, not me. So when I started to struggle financially, I was like, later for this foolishness, and I realized that having her so close to my inner circle was poisonous. It was poisonous. And I started thinking, because recently there's been this young man who, he's doing really well. He's out here in California doing his thing, working for what do you call these things, working for not a network, what do you call a studio, working for, like, you know, one of the big major 5 studios, right? So he works for the studio. He's doing well, and he talks with me. We speak every few weeks or so, right? And in between the time that we speak, my mind rotates over. When I was in New York, I used to think about him a lot, because I found the words that he would tell me, I found them to be really inspirational, right? I found him in general to be inspirational. And when I would think about him, I would think about how life, I need to get over, how things are possible. Like, I have a friend who's a multi-millionaire, well, an associate. We're not friends too much anymore because he's really, really busy. But I have a friend who's a multi-millionaire, right? More than excess of $10 million net worth, right? And I have another associate. Well, I have this person as my friend who's making upwards of $200,000 a year, right? And and I started thinking about the people. I remember I went to this conference a few years ago, and in the conference, there was a person who was taught, I don't remember who it was, but it was like, if you look at if you look at 5, I can't remember how they put it, but he was basically saying that you are like your 5 closest friends, your 5 closest associates, 5 closest friends, however he put it. He was saying that you all will start to mimic one another, etc. I think I need to get over one more. That you all will start to mimic one another, and I don't think mimic is not the right word. What he was basically saying is that you become like your 5 closest associates, right? I don't know whether number 3 or 5, whatever, but you get the point. And he was talking about exchanging exchanging ideas and patterns, behaviors, whatever, with the 3 to 5 closest people closest to you. And I realized when that young lady was closest in my inner circle that I wasn't doing well financially. There was no inspiration there. And I was thinking about where we draw our inspiration and where we draw our ideas and the possibility and the things that are possible, right? Is this a shoulder or I don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay, and he was talking about where it is that you draw from in terms of your inspiration. No, I was thinking about where it is that we draw from in terms of our inspiration. And unfortunately, when the people in your inner circle are not doing well, you don't have the same driving force. You don't have the same thing pushing you, because number one, everybody's doing bad. So you guys, especially people exchanging failure stories, and you look around and you see everyone around you is failing, and your mind can't stretch past what it is that you consider to be possible. So I just want, if I could just inspire you to do one thing, I would love it if you could just take a look at your inner circle. I would love it if you could just take a look at the people that you keep closest to you. Take a look and see how are they doing with their lives, and what patterns and habits do you all share? Because like I said, when I started doing poorly, this young lady wanted me to participate in some actions that I don't agree with. It's not right for me. It may be right for her if that's what she chooses to do. But I realized that because this was something that she did, she didn't have a problem with doing it. Because if you think about it, if a person doesn't have a problem, I feel like you can't even see. I feel like it's so dark in here. Earphone, okay. If a person doesn't have a problem participating in certain activities, they won't have a problem recommending for you to participate in those activities either, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like the phone is too... My bubby's looking so big in the camera. Let me put this back here. I hope you can see me. If not, I don't know what else to tell you. Listen, if a person can suggest certain activities for them to participate in, of course, if it's good enough for them, they're going to think that it's good enough for you too. So when it comes time to give you some advice, they're going to give you advice that they themselves would take. And if the advice that they themselves would take is kind of unscrupulous or whatnot, you have to kind of think, okay, when you need inspiration or when you need guidance, the people around you are going to be the ones who are going to give you advice, and the advice that they're going to give you is the same type of advice that they would give to themselves. Obviously, if this woman had a problem with what it was that she was doing, she wouldn't be doing it. So when I needed advice and when I needed inspiration and I looked to her, she wanted me to join in the stuff that she was doing. So I'm like, look around in your inner circle. What are the people in your inner circle doing? Do you want to live like that? And if you are, this is one thing that I wanted to say. If you are the best person in your inner circle, you might need to clean house. You might need to reevaluate your circle. If you are the best, doing the best, the smartest, the richest, then I suggest that you branch out just a little bit. Find some people who are just on the outskirts of where it is that you are. Somebody who you can feel inspired to live up to, or whose status you can aspire to attain. Get some business people in your life. Get some people in your circle who are doing better than you. That's all that I can say. That's my full video right there. I need to get over and get off of this highway, right? But leave your comments below, and if you made it to the end of this video, I would love it if you could tell me okay, tell me, you know what, let's make this real. Tell me what it is that you are going to do to get some people in your inner circle who are just on the outskirts of what it is that you can attain. What are you going to do? Are you going to seek a mentor? Are you going to network with people who are making more money than you and keep close contact with them. That's a great way to keep your finger to the pulse, network, and get in touch with some people who are doing better than you are. Tell me what you're going to do. I want to hear some real solutions, okay? So listen, I finally got off this highway. Thank you for driving with me. I want to see your comments below. And I also want to hear, have you fallen into empathetic traps where you start trying to identify with a person? Like, let's say, listen, I knew a young lady, and the young ladies around her were all single mothers. Then lo and behold, and she heard all of them complain, and I don't know if she felt left out or whatever, but after a while she became a single mother too. And then now you hear them sitting around complaining about their baby daddies and child support and Pampers and milk and all this other stuff. And it was like, you heard your friends complaining about this, but then now you've joined the club, and now all of you can sit around knitting. Okay, they don't knit, but it would be nice if they did knit. At least something productive could be coming from it. But now they sit around talking about their baby papa problems. So tell me, do you empathize with the people around you? And have you found that you end up mimicking that behavior, or energetically that stuff becomes attracted to you? So listen, that is my whole video. Look, gas out here is $2.69 a gallon. I wish I could show you. I went and I filled up at $2.85 because I was like, oh, it's going to go back up. But now it's all the way down to $2.69. I can't wait. Listen, go Obama. People blame him for all of this other stuff, but when the gas was high, people were blaming him. But now that the gas is low, you don't see anybody giving him props. But then also on the flip side, what did we have to give up as a country and a society for this cheap gas, this quote unquote cheap gas, blood in the gas tank, blood in the gas pump? Listen, I would rather have higher gas prices than some of the stuff that we've been doing to get the gas prices low. But nonetheless, that's a whole different video for a whole different time. But leave your comment below. I want to hear, what are you going to do to get some fresh new blood, some energize your inner circle? Don't make some of the mistakes that I've made, dragging myself down into the gutter so that we can all wallow together and pat each other on the shoulder. Oh, poor you. No, poor me. No. Come on, get out of here with that. No. So now I have different heights to attain. If anything, listen, for some reason it doesn't seem like some people want to kind of crawl up to your level. I don't want to say crawl, because crawl sounds like they down there. For some reason, it doesn't seem like certain people want to achieve certain things, male and female. So you got to check your inner circle. Are the people, there's nothing wrong with someone being down. What are they doing to get themselves back up? We're talking about, if we're talking about grown people here, what is this grown person doing to take care of themselves? Because if they're not taking care of themselves, your good life becomes an indictment on them. They're like, in comparison to you, they feel the embarrassment of what it is that they have not been able to achieve just on GP alone, just by mere association, just looking at what it is that you were able to do with your life and your chances and your opportunities. And people are like, oh, they think that I had it good. Listen, I grew up in the ghetto. My mother passed away when I was 19. I didn't let that break me. I kept pushing on. I'm an African-American young woman. You know what? If you don't know my story, come over to my website, TonyaTko.com, and download my free guide on self-love and trauma healing. I talk about some of the things that I've gone through in there, the molestation and the rape and a lot of the things that I've gone through that I still continue to rise from. And it's like, listen, it ain't easy out here for anybody. You know what I mean? It's like we take the hand that we have and we continue to listen, we make the most of what it is that we have, because the alternative is what? Listen, I'm going to get out of here, but I want to give you a hug before I go. So listen, I love you very much. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is surrounding yourself with people who can help you become a better you. People who, by association, just like some people feel bad about themselves by being in association to certain characteristics that you exhibit, what can you do to stop yourself from being jealous? I'm going to turn right here. No, can't turn, says do not enter. What can you do to stop yourself from being jealous so that you find inspiration in some of the things that other people are doing, so that you are like, you know what, I'm going to work to try to attain that for myself. Oh, let's hug. It's a red light. So listen, I love you very much. Remember, if you made it to the end of the video, what to say. Tell me how you're going to get new, fresh blood in your inner circle. Hug me. Hug me. It's dangerous hugging while we're driving, right? So listen, let me let you get out of here, okay? I love you very much. Go out there, love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Peace.